We can use tourniquets on children. There are not pediatric specific ones. It's just one size fits whoever it'll fit. So I have 10-year-old twin girls, and this, even if you got that there, that's probably about as small as you can get this one, and still there's a big plastic piece. This is too big for their arms. It does fit their legs. So try it on your kiddo if you're in that situation, see if it works. If it doesn't, pressure packing. And then we can use packing and pressure on children. It doesn't matter for that at all. Okay, next one. And then, had a guy one time who stabbed himself in the chest with a kitchen knife. So he's outside and police arrive and they're like, hey, let us help you and don't take out the knife. So what are they gonna do? Do what they say, right? But opposite, because he's confused. So he took out the knife and he ended up bleeding out right there and dead. So don't take out the object that has impaled someone, because that's acting as a hose stopper, right? The vessels are sitting up against there. So what you're going to do with that is try to stabilize the object. If it was me, I would just take this gauze and kind of put it around there and just hold it in place until ease arrives. Tourniquet, improvised tourniquets. So like I said, we don't all have the luxury of having a tourniquet like this fancy one everywhere. I don't endorse using improvised tourniquets. I want you to have these. However, I realize you may need to. So what's some things that we could use for a tourniquet? Yeah.
A belt?
Yeah, that's a very common one. And Boston bombings, they used a lot of belts and saved a lot of lives by doing that. So a belt, you'll be able to get it super tight. You won't be able to do the extra cinching. So I can see why that's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good in a pinch. So, can anyone think of any other things we could use for a tourniquet? Maybe could use a shoelace, you think?
Very hard to get that off, but like any string and a pencil will work.
Those can be really sharp, and if you get it super tight too, like you could cut through that skin more. So if the only thing I had was a shoelace or rope of some sort, maybe I'll wrap a t-shirt or clothing it and then do it above it. But yeah, that's a good idea. Men's ties, teachers' lanyards or staff lanyards can work. Loss of arm or leg, that was just related to keeping tourniquets on too long. And it's very painful, these things, and just bleeding in general. It's really scary and horrible. Hope that never happens to any of us. So hopefully we're ready with some of this knowledge.
I know after my surgery on my knees, the biggest pain probably was my hamstring and quads from the tourniquets that they put on.
Really?
Because they were so bruised,
Yeah.
black and blue, because they cranked those down pretty big. You're out there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours as they're putting those knees in.
Yep. How do the knees do?
We grew 4 inches.
I grew 4 inches. Yeah.
Awesome. So other things in your kits, it looks like you have gauze roll like that one, just a little smaller. You got tape. You got big pads that would be really good for putting pressure on. I'm just going to say a word about some of that stuff because I think a lot of it's really good. I heard a speaker from the Columbine shooting, so that was quite a while ago out in Colorado. And there was a shooting at their school. They locked it down. And the speaker talked about how she was stuck in a room, something like this, for 4 hours. And so water would be really good. Some teachers, I remember as we did this training, talked about kind of throwing in some granola bars for people. Because I mean, if you're stuck somewhere that long, that's a long time. And then some things like going to the bathroom, right? I mean, you notice that'll happen. So if you guys have garbage bags, good luck with that. One school I went to, they had 5-gallon buckets. I thought that was pretty smart. And then you could go in this way. But all the things we don't think about, right? But here's your gloves.
Febreze.
You guys also got some
Some
duct
Febreze.
tape.
Yeah.
And looks like there's some forms and stuff in here too. This can also make you a target, just a word for the wise if there's a shooter, but in the event that like it's a tornado or something, like this is really good for identifying staff too, so. Yeah, these are really good things to have. I think it's a great thing for your schools to have, and hope you never have to use it. A whole bunch of masks in case you feel like wearing those more. So yeah, feel free to check that out. I guess that this, is there any questions? Anything you want to ask me? Oh, yeah.
Were you just like used to seeing blood, or did it take you a while to like
I don't think I still am used to seeing blood. Like, I mean, I used to before. I remember the first time I saw a central line being put in, and now I don't know if it was done correctly because there was like blood pumping out of someone's neck, and I'm just like, I did almost pass out. I had to walk out. I think like really gory things that happen to people, I don't think you'll ever get used to that. I saw a presentation today, and it was about facial trauma, and those are just hard because like our face should be the way they are, not your nose hanging off from a dog bite or like all of this gone from this, a lot of it was about dog bites, but I think it's really hard. Yeah. Any other questions? So what I want you guys to do
I have
is
a question.
to, oh, I'm sorry.
You ever like found someone and there like was a piece of them that wasn't like completely off, like if it was still like there, would you try to like put it back in place before you put pressure on
Thank
it?
you for bringing that up. So if it's completely detached, a finger, a hand, a leg, whatever, bring it in to the ER, send it with. So that garbage bag in there would be perfect, although don't throw it out, but throw it in the garbage bag and send it with, because we can send them to get reattached. If it's still kind of, and even so, like if I came upon that, I think it would be really hard to see. Like I think that's one of the things I especially don't like to see is amputations. So I probably like just like move that aside and then I can focus on that. If it's still partially attached or like an open fracture of some sort, like I also picture, you know, if it is an arm fracture here and you've got the bones like sitting like this and all this stuff or poking out, like do your best to kind of get around it, I would say. Be careful not to cut yourself too on those bones. They're very sharp sometimes. And I don't think I'd probably do too much of moving an extremity. I'd let EMS kind of do that. I'd probably just kind of work with how they're laying or once I got them to safety. Because they'll do some stuff with splinting and have some of that gear to do it properly. Good question.
So with winter months coming up and snow and stuff, make sure you don't ever stick your hand in your snow blower.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Mr. Richard?
Yeah, that'd be stupid if you ever did that.
Ladders, like, I don't know why we have gutters, because people are all on their roofs and cleaning out ladders, me included, cleaning out gutters, and had more falls from ladders lately, but it's a seasonal thing. Okay, so with our 10 minutes, come around, I'll put this leg over here, practice packing a little bit, checking out how big these wounds are, because what's on the surface is not always what's underneath. And then practice putting some tourniquets on yourself or others.
Hey, anyone ever see Hacksaw Ridge? That, I just watched it this last weekend. I mean, to me, that's a school shooting. I mean, just the way he had to compress, tourniquet, pack wounds and everything, just visualize that as someone coming in, shooting something.
Yeah.
Question?
Here, I'll pass it around. How about that?
Hey,
Other tourniquets.
that's kind of weird.
Violation of your teacher code.
Stop blood from the give enough of those others.
These kind too, I'll just pass around as well. They just have a spot. Give that one a try.
Go ahead and put it on someone else if